Hello everybody and welcome to the reboot of the Knit One Breathe Two podcast. We are back. It's very exciting. Finally, now I get to do my first Roundup podcast of my new version of my podcast. If you had missed it or you're new to the podcast, I had about 50 or so videos up. Also under Knit One Breathe Two, but decided to take all those videos down for personal reasons, and so now I'm rebooting the podcast. So hello, my name is Alyssa. I'm known as Planetologist on Instagram as well as Ravelry, and you can also find our Ravelry group at Knit One Breathe Two using the numbers, not the spelled out version of the numbers. So welcome. It's exciting to be back. One thing you may have noticed at the beginning, at the title, I'm no longer going to be numbering my episodes. Instead, I'm going to be putting the dates. The end of the month or beginning of a month episode are going to be Roundup for what I've done in the last month. Be it finished objects, what I've been working on, acquisitions. That's going to be kind of a summary of what I've done in the last month. And then in the middle of the month, I'm still going to do my Make With Me videos. Maybe I'll be stitching, maybe I'll be knitting, and you can join me on that. And that'll be a little more casual, I guess. And that date might change, but it's going to be around mid-month. So I should be podcasting every 2 weeks again. So yeah, so today is June the 4th, and this is going to be a summary at what I did in May 2019. So it took me a few days longer to get this podcast recorded for a few reasons. One of our kids was out of town this weekend, and the other one had a sleepover, so it was a little busy. And then my tripod broke, the one that I've been using for 2 years. So I had to go and get a new one, and I finally got it this morning. So hence why it's taken a few extra days to get this one up and running, but here we are. So today I'm using my, my Universe mug. I love this mug. My husband got it for me, I don't know, Mother's Day, Christmas, birthday, one of those. I love it. It even has stuff on the inside. And today I'm drinking coffee, little bit of cream, little bit of sugar. What are you drinking today or tonight? Maybe it's tonight. I just started drinking coffee actually about a year ago. And why didn't people tell me what I was missing? I love it. I have to have a little cream, a little sugar in it because I'm not too keen on the black coffee, but I really like having it first thing in the morning, especially on a weekend, like waking up, having a coffee on the weekend. And then sometimes when I get home from work, I usually get home between 4 or 5, depending what time I leave work. And sometimes I like to have one after work, especially if I'm really, really tired and I have an evening of being with the kids ahead of me. So there we are with that. So it has been some time since I last did a typical podcast episode. So you will see lots of updates if you've been watching my old podcasts, and if you're new, well then all of this will be new to you. So thank you for those of me who used to watch my podcast and are now back. It's great to see my regulars in the comment sections again. Fantastic. And if you're new here, thank you for joining me on my little tiny corner of the knitting world podcasts. So let's get started because I have a lot to get through. Let's start with finished objects, so things I've finished in the last month or so. I do have only one knitting finish and only one cross stitch finish as well. I've been working on a lot of large projects, both knitting and cross stitch, so I'm not finishing on a lot, but I'll get to those in the works in progress section. So I'm just gonna break up the first thing that I finished. It's on Ravelry. If you have any questions about any of my knitting projects, like what yarn, what needles, yardages, anything like that, I put every single project on my Ravelry page, and you can find me on Ravelry at Plan Knitologist, and I'll put that on the screen below. So I'm just gonna open up Ravelry here and go to my notebook and go to my projects. So my only finish was a little baby beanie, little hat for my neighbor. She had a little boy, and so I made this little beanie hat for her. It's out of fingering weight yarn. It is Knit Picks, and ooh, what is the color name? I should know that. Treehouse. I don't know if they still stock that color or not, but it's like greens and blues and a light kind of tan color, so it was perfect. And I used a pattern called Baby Beanie by I don't know if that's a name of a company or a name of a person. I should have looked, but it's Les Lane's Coco. I don't know. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's published in Coco Knits Ravelry store. So I'll show you the pattern here. It's called Baby Beanie. It's a free pattern. And it just gives you a simple recipe to make different sizes for baby hats in fingering weight yarn. So it's just a simple 2x2 rib on the brim, and then a garter stitch, not garter, Kitchener stitch, crown, I guess. And then it does the, wow, words, right? Haven't done this in a while. The decreases to make that nice little spiral on the top. So I did give it to my neighbor, and I got a card a couple days later saying she loved it and that it fits her boy perfectly, which is interesting because the kid's only like 4 months old and I knit the 6 to 10 month size. So I'm glad I picked a bigger size. That was fun. My phone is full. So of course that happened right as I was podcasting. It may happen again, so we will see. Okay, so I finished the beanie. Neighbor loved it, worked out well. Okay, the only other finish I have is a cross stitch finish. And the reason why I have this one is because I was teaching one of my classes to cross stitch, which is fun. So I got each of the students, there were only 4 students that week, because the rest of them were gone on a field trip. So I got them each a little tiny cross stitch kit, like one of those little dimensions kits you can get from Michael's or Amazon. They were only about $4 each. And my idea was the one that didn't get chosen was the one I was gonna do. And the one that didn't get chosen was the pile of poo emoji one, which I thought would go. So then I ended up stitching it. And I stitched the emoji and I thought, okay, that's cute. And I thought, I should do something with it. So my husband's father likes to say this quote. He likes to say, like a good bowel movement, shall we say, this too shall pass. So I stitched it and I framed it. Isn't that hilarious? So we're gonna put that up in the bathroom. I just bought a frame from Michael's. I used one of my 40% off coupons, so I got it for about $14. And now we're gonna have this in our bathroom. It kind of made me giggle. It went together really quickly because it is on 14 count. Ada, I think. 4 colors, black, white, and then 2 different browns. And then I added the blue in for the good there, because I didn't have enough of the brown to do all the letters. So I decided to pick one word to do in a different color. So I picked good, and so I picked a nice color that went with it. So yeah, that's fun. So that's my 2 FOs that I've had in the last month or so. Okay, let's get on to whips because I got a lot. If you watched my last make with me video, I was working on So Faded, right? I'm pretty sure I was. So this is my major knitting whip that I've been working on. Is the So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry. It is right there. It was very popular about a year or so ago. And then I put it on my Make 9 for this year. And I started this sweater on January 1st. And I have cast off the body. So here is the top. And I chose 4 colors. And there's the bottom. So it goes from like a white with some blue in it, then to a blue, then a bluey green, and then a green. So I do have the sleeves to do still. As you can see, I have the caps done. My idea is to do 3/4 length sleeves, but because it's the summer, I have put this away to work on my summer knit along project. So I started a warm weather make along or knit along back in March. It runs from March 21st to June 21st. So it's coming up the end, and it's anything you can make. It could be crochet, it could be knitting, it could be sewing, anything you can wear in warm weather. So lots of people are doing tank tops, light sweaters. A few people have done the Tegna, which is the one that I am working on. So I'll show you that one. I don't have much on it. Now who's Tegna by? Caitlin Hunter? I'm just gonna double check that. Because I don't want to get that wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Caitlin Hunter. Oh, I haven't even started a Ravelry page for it. And I don't have a paper pattern. This time I decided to use an app to read it. So I use what's called PDF Notes. It is a free app you can use to import PDFs into it, and then you can mark it up. So I'll show you. So there is, yeah, it is Caitlin Hunter. So there's the pattern there. Again, that was popular about a year ago, maybe last summer. Very lovely summer top. It's like a crop style top, although I've seen some people knit it longer, so it doesn't have to be. Yeah, so I am using Holst yarn. This is their Coast base, so it's 55% lamb's wool and 45% cotton. And their balls are only 50 grams, but they're 350 meters each. So I'm using, this is soft saffron, sorry. It's like a burnt orange color. It's coming off brighter there than it is in real life. But that's the color I'm using, and this is how much I've done. Yeah, it's taking me a long time. I'll show it to you this way, I guess. I had no idea how many stitches it was around. The size I chose is 400 stitches. So, and I'm doing lace right now, so it's taking forever to do around. So I haven't been working on this much, I'll admit that. Obviously you can figure that out by how much I've gotten done. I know it'll be beautiful when it's done, but man, is it taken a long time. I'm finding the lace repeats aren't easily memorizable, so aren't easy to memorize. How about that? So I'm having to look at the pattern a lot, which I'm finding tough. And then I have to do 20 repeats of a 20 stitch pattern. And even the rest rows are... Okay, this is not going well. That was the second time that my camera became full or my phone became full. So we'll see if it happens on this. I don't know. So now I'm on my iPad, so that's why the screen has changed. I'm sorry for this up here. There's a window there and there's another one over here. So if I turned it this way, then you would see that window. So anyway, I need to get the pictures off my phone is what I need to do. What was I talking about, guys? I was talking about my Tegna. You saw how much I had done. It's really long, the round, so it's gonna take me a really, really long time to make this. So I'm definitely not gonna get done by my June 21st deadline for this make along. But you know what? Other people are done, so that's awesome. If you want to join the warm weather make along, please go into Ravelry and find Knit One Breathe 2 group, and you can post your finished objects and you'll be entered to win some sort of prize. I don't know, probably just a pattern or something from Ravelry, but there are some finished objects in there already, so that's fantastic. Okay, other knitting projects. I've been working on lots of dishcloths, so I finished another one that's kind of half this color, half a purpley striped color, and I'm almost done this one, as you can see. So these are great when I go to my son's soccer games or something like that. Even in a movie or something, I'll just knit on these. This is Knit Picks Caterpillar colorway. Looks like that. And I also have some other Knit Picks ones that I've done already. So you can take a look at my Ravelry page for those finished objects. I did start another object or project, but then I ripped it out. So I'm going to talk about that in acquisitions. So I've done So Faded, I've done that, I've done Tegna. Okay, so let's talk cross stitch. I'm working on two, well, have been working on two. I've been working mostly on one recently, but last month I got a lot of work done on Moonlit Cabin. This is from Dimensions, their gold collections. This is a 5x7 photo. Isn't it a beautiful picture? And I finished the cabin part. Let me find I finished the cottage. Isn't that cute? Love it. So now I'm going to get to the snow and the trees and the river and stuff. There is a tree over here, but you can't see it very well because it's black on navy blue. I did buy a new lamp that comes overhead, and that's been really helpful with stitching on navy fabric. So that's a really good tip. And to also hold something white on my lap or something light in color so that I can see the holes more easily. So that was really useful information. Someone shared that on Caroline, so Off the Grid Needle Arts channel, because I had asked her that question and she posed it out to her viewers, and some people came back with some great suggestions. So that's fun. So yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. I would love to get this done by Christmas, but come on, really? Probably not. That is a Dimensions kit. What I've been working on the most is my Shades of Orange by Northern Expressions Needleworks. It's a beautiful geometric design. I believe there are 12 in this series. And this is, I think, the 5th one in this series. I have 2 of the others I for sure want to do down the line, but this is taking me a while, as does everything else. So here's where I am with shades of orange. So I've actually finally switched the frame. So I was over here, I finished all this section, and now I've moved over and I'm going to do this square on this side and then fill in. It's going to be these same bands, but they're going to be going this way. And I have gotten to the very center. So the very center is about right here, probably just a little further down. And so what I do here, I'm going to go across the center and then I'm going to go do these 2 parts again, but on the bottom. So yeah, so that's been going well. I've been using DMC colors as charted. So the 2 DMCs are 918 and 921. And they're 2 oranges. Oh, I don't have my little bag, so I can't remember which one's which. But one of those is 921 and one of them is 918. And this is on 28 count even weave fabric, and I believe the color was called mushroom. I think so. Something like that. So yeah, that's been going well. I've been spending a lot of time on that lately, which is why you see the most progress on that one. So that's everything I've been working on. Now school is coming to a close, so it's June 4th, so not even another month. And so come summer, or even come the next few weeks, I don't have as much prep to do at home or marking. So that means I have more time in the evening to get more of my crafting done, which means I should see more progress being made on these things. So let's see, that takes me into kind of the stuff I've bought for my crafting. So most of the stuff I bought was because a group of 9 of us ladies got together. We rented a farmhouse and we had a knitting crafting weekend in April, and that was awesome. It was so much fun. We all got tons of knitting done. Most of us did knitting most of the time. I did a bit of cross stitch. Actually, that's where I finished my cabin on Moonlight Cabin. We took a picture at one point of everyone's project bags on one table, and it was a little disgusting, but awesome at the same time. So it was a lot of fun. We were there. We went up kind of Friday morning, Friday afternoon. Some people got there earlier than others. And we stayed overnight Friday night, Saturday night, and then we all left Sunday afternoon. So we had a good 3 days and it was fantastic. Great bunch of ladies. It wasn't a retreat in the sense that you sign up and there's classes and all this stuff. It was just a group of us being like, hey, this would be a cool thing to do. So we did, and it was great. Oh, Isaac, oh my goodness, my cat's standing on my shades of orange. Okay, I need you to move very, very, very carefully. Okay, oh my gosh, could you imagine if my cat snagged that? I'm not sure what I would have done to him. Okay. Anyway, so when we were there were a few things we did. There was a knitting store in town. Who is the one who owned the farmhouse? Because she rents it out to all kinds of crafting groups. I think it was initially made for quilting, but in her advertisement on her website, she talks about yoga groups, knitting groups, you name it. So it's great for 10 people. There's enough room for 10 people to sleep, but you do need to share beds. That keeps the cost down. It was very reasonable in price. It was about $100 for each of us for the entire weekend. There was a full kitchen. There were, I think, 3 different living areas, a great kind of I don't even know how to explain it, but it was a big, like a big sunroom with big tables and rolly chairs. So it was very comfy. And there was actually 2 other sunrooms, but it was quite cool that weekend, so we didn't spend a lot of time in there. But yeah, it was fantastic. So the woman who owns the farm also owned the yarn store in town, which was a great shop. And then across the street from that shop, there was a fabric shop as well. So it was great. It was perfect. So let me show you all the things that I got during that trip. So the first thing I'll show you is a bag. Now this actually, I didn't buy this on the retreat, but I bought it before, but I bought it from the Knits Best thing. And she came along on the retreat, so she brought this for me, so I didn't have to have it shipped. And it is a beautiful bag. If you know me a little bit, you know I love cherries. I have a tattoo of cherries. So yeah, cherry bag. It's a drawstring. It has this great kind of, it's almost like a tie-dye almost in the middle, like red lining. Great quality here with the, I can't think, drawstring, and then the great line, or the great color. And it's quite big. I have 2 balls of yarn in here, but you could definitely fit more. Like, this is all it's taken up right now. Speaking of the yarn that's in here, I'll show you that, because I got that at the store we went to, and I can't remember the name of it, so let me look that up. Goodness gracious. So that'll be under knitting and cross stitch. Wool and Silk Company in Shelburne, Ontario. So while I was there, I saw this beautiful shawl sitting out. It's not a very good picture of it, but here it is. It's striped. It looks like it's striped, but the lighter color is mohair, and then the other color is like a variegated, other very soft yarn. And so this is a very simple pattern. It's like an extended triangle shawl, and you can do it in small or large. And so here's the name of it. It's called Full Sail or Half Sail Shawl. Does it have a... Here we go. You can find it on Ravelry. It says copyright 2018 by Bantry Yarns at the bottom here. But if you go on Ravelry and look for Full Sail, Half Sail Shawl, you'll find it. And she had sets of yarn chosen for, so 2 different yarn, and one was always a drops kid silk, sorry, a mohair, and the other one was always Louise Harding yarns. Oh my gosh, is that Ritua or is it Pitua? I don't know. Whatever that is. I think that's a P, but it could be an R at the beginning there. Anyway, they were all combined like this. And I saw this one and I quite liked it. So this is the Pitua, whatever. I can't say that, guys. This is called Birth of Venus, the colorway. It's like browns and blues, like very natural colors, and it is really, really soft. Let's see, it is 75% wool, 25% viscose, and it is ridiculously soft. So, it was paired together, I think, with a gray or a blue or something, and then another lady who was there at the retreat, Lisa, I think it was Lisa. I was there with Lisa and Dawn, and she said, well, what about this combo? So she pulled out this brown, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really, really perfect. It'll be a little more dramatic rather than a softer look, I guess. Let's see, does this have a color? I don't think these have color names. or at least if they do, I ripped it off. Color 15. Color 15, but it's like a dark brown. It's like my hair color, a little darker than my hair color, I guess. I did start it, but the needle that I had was way too big, and so it was way too loose, my gauge. So I ripped it out, and now I'm going to start over again eventually with a smaller needle. So that's a few of the things that I bought. What else did I buy? Oh my goodness. On the way there, we decided to stop at the Patton's factory in Listowel. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's north of London here. And that's where the Patton's Croy factory is. I shouldn't say Croy because they do other yarn too. And I got a bunch of stuff. And not just Patton's. But I'll show you, well, I'll show you this stuff first. First of all, they have these giant bins where they have not even full skeins of yarn. You can just kind of get bits or not just bits. I wanted some different colors of cotton so I can have different colors for my dishcloths, because the plan is for me to make a bunch of them and then I can give them away as gifts or use them when we need them. So I got some dark greens, like a forest green. None of these have tags or colors, so I have no idea, but this is a gray. I know it looks kind of green there, but it is gray. And then this one has kind of blues, grays, so a blue, gray, green, brown. Like it's kind of a manly, I shouldn't say manly, it's more masculine in color. And then you saw this one, this is my giant cone that has a couple different greens, a white and a blue in it. And I think that'll go well with all the other colors that I picked out. So I can do different combos with all of those. So I got that all. And then, oh, and this blue, apparently. There's more cotton. Do I have more in here? No. One of my Make 9 for this year is to do a color work yoked sweater. And one of the ones I really, really loved is Mountain Mist, I think it's called, by Tin Can Knits. So there's the sweater. There. So it has a dark color and then a couple layers of, like, it looks like mountains, and then the sky kind of colors. How I look at it, this is by Tin Can Knits. I love this sweater because I grew up in Alberta, so that, like, the mountains obviously takes me back to growing up in Calgary. So I really wanted to capture very similar colors. So I bought, these are all Patton's worsted colors. I'll show you the label first. So these are all classic wool, Patton's classic wool worsted. The main color is going to be this mercury color. It's black-ish, like it's not exactly black, right? If you compare it to that, but it's more like a really dark gray. And then I'm going to have this color. This is called Peacock. And then a light blue. This is called Seafoam. And then for the sky is going to be a gray. And this is called Gray Mix. So it's going to look very similar to the one they did in the pattern photo. I think that's going to be beautiful. So once I get my So Faded and my Tegna done, I want to do this one. I did get 4 balls, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the main color. I wasn't quite sure. They are 100 grams, 100% pure new wool. And they say it's about 192 meters, 210 yards. So I think I got an extra one just in case. I don't want to run out, right? So I got all that at the Patton's factory, which was fantastic. It was cool to see. The cotton was on sale. You just buy it by the weight. the Patton's worsted was not on sale. I probably could have got cheaper at Michael's or something, but oh well, it was fun. This section is way longer than it normally is. The last yarn I got was this beauty. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? I did not buy this. Part of our retreat was everyone who wanted to participate, we brought a skein of yarn from our stash that we were willing to part with. And so what we did is everyone who brought one or two, some people even brought two, we put it in the middle of the table. Actually, before we did that, we passed them all around so everyone could look closely and feel. Put them all in the middle of the table, and then we drew numbers. And then whoever got drawn first got to pick first out of the pile, drawn second got to pick second, etc. So I was able to pick this beautiful, beautiful yarn. This is totally inked yarn. The color is Teal Me a Secret, 80% superwash and 20% nylon. 4 ounces, 420 yards. So there's the information there. It's gorgeous. My idea is to make a hat and fingerless gloves for myself with this. I think it's just gorgeous. So I was very happy. This was my first choice when they all went around, and so I was very excited. I think I got to pick third, but the other two people picked what their first choice was, right? So yay. So that was fun. Other acquisitions, just a book. One of my friends, Louise of Fiber Friends, actually, she gave me this book. She doesn't stitch very much, if at all, anymore. I don't know if you still stitch or not. But she had this. She hasn't used it in a while. And so she's like, hey, do you want it? I said, yes, I do. There's some beautiful flowers in here. I think it's just gorgeous stuff. Like I love the idea of doing maybe a bunch of them with a border. There's just some beautiful, there are ones that have specific projects, but then there are ones that are like individual ones and you can just stitch them wherever you would like. Like I just love these, how you kind of have some of them together and make it into a wall hanging or something. I want to show you, oh, I love that one. So I guess I can show you all of these, but like Romantic Rose, I think they're just beautiful. I love flowers. Obviously, I mean, who doesn't love flowers? But I think some of these, like I love that they have the little ones too. So you could just do a little mini thing for something and have it as an ornament or something like that. Or you could put them all together. Like, look at this one, the hummingbird. Right? Or you can find other little patterns to put them together with, right? So that's very cool. So that was like, yeah, see, they have like a bunch of them. I'm not going to show these for very long because I don't want people to be able to rip off the patterns. But there's like pages and pages of little tiny patterns for flowers. So yeah, and then the last thing I'll show you, because I thought it was really nice, of the retreat farmhouse owner, she put together little bags for all of us ladies, and in mine she put this pattern magazine. So I thought that was really sweet. She put one for each of us. There's some really cute patterns in here. It's all kind of lacy submarine tops. I love this one. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a drop stitch top. I love it. So it was kind of perfect timing. And really perfect for my warm weather cowl, which I'm not going to be able to do. Speaking of which, I want to thank, oh my gosh, Verena and Rosalba. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name Rosalba, is that how you pronounce it? Tell me in the comments how to pronounce your name. Thank you for sending me patterns for my birthday. That was like 3 months ago, but thank you. That was so sweet. Yeah, I was really surprised and really touched. So thank you for sending those, and definitely they're on my to-do list. But yeah, it was a great surprise. So thank you. Yay. Okay, I think that's everything that I've been working on and finishing. So the last section of my podcast is called Breathe 2, which is kind of, I tried to share ways in which I try to de-stress or lower my anxiety. Those of you who have watched in the past know that I do struggle with anxiety and depression. And so this section, I like to share tips and strategies that I use to help keep my mental health in check, I guess. Before this video, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? Now, I'm going to talk about something because this has been causing me a lot of stress lately. I finally gave in and got this book, How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. This is part of a 5-book series. I bought all 5. Mostly because it was cheaper to buy all 5 on Amazon. I got all 5 books for $39. This is part of the How to Talk So Kids Will Listen series. So all of them are How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen to So Kids Will Talk. How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen, a survival guide to life with children aged 2 to 7. How to Talk So Teens Will Listen and Listen to So Teens Will Talk. Siblings Without Rivalry, and How to Talk So Kids Can Learn at Home and in School. So as a parent and as a teacher, I thought all of these are definitely right up my alley. We are struggling quite a bit with our kids right now. A lot of it is having to do with their relationship. They are 5 and 8 right now. So this is age, 2 to 7. So, but I think it'll work I'm hoping it'll work well with our youngest. He is a very strong personality, which is great. It will serve him well when he's an adult, but right now it's very difficult to parent, if that makes any sense. Our older child has his own challenges. So we have 2 boys. He has his own challenges, but it's kind of on a different kind of thing. We got another book for him actually called Smart But Scattered. He's having a lot of issues paying attention at school and stuff. It's not ADHD. We went to the doctor and stuff like that. So it's not that, but he's still having difficulty in staying on tasks and stuff. So it has been suggested to us by his learning success team at his school that he could just use help with his executive functions. So time management, staying on task, that kind of thing. So that's what that book is all about. So that's my Breathe 2 section this time, is trying to reduce the stress around parenting. Because right now, we've been struggling a lot and we need help. So we're going to try to reduce our stress around that. So our general stress and anxieties can be reduced in the house. If you have any tips or what are your favorite things to do with little kids that, help them get by and help them overcome their challenges by not losing our minds, is really the goal here. So that's it for this month. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate those again who have come back. And if you're brand new, welcome. I'm really excited that you're here. In the next couple of weeks, I hope you get lots of knitting and other making time in. But don't forget to breathe too. See you soon. Bye-bye.